So this is a sample quiz. It's like the quizzes that we had in class, but the questions are different. It's an extra one I made. You can tell it says extra. All right, so I'm going to work through problems. They're not going to be the same as that you have, but they are in the same sequence, so I thought maybe that would help. So we have 16 moles of ammonium dichromate. So you go 16 moles of ammonium dichromate. Now you have to look up what ammonium dichromate is, and I picked weird ones for this so I can show you how to deal with it. So ammonium is down here. It's NH4 with a +1 charge. And dichromate is another ATE ending, means it's down here. So dichromate is right there. Cr2O7, and it has a -2 charge. Over the last couple of days when I've been helping people with this, I've noticed that we're not quite sure how to start. So you always start with the number that they give you and the unit and what you're talking about. So down here you would start with this many grams pentane. Down here it would be this many grams of aluminum phthalate, right? And so on. So you start with the number and what you're talking about. Then you look at your mole map. So on the mole map, we're over here with moles in the middle. We want to get to grams. Grams are over here on the side. So we have to go from here to here. And you have your real mole map with you. And it's hard to see that on this screen, but it says formula mass there. So when you're going between moles and grams, you use the formula mass. All right, so that means we have to write the chemical formula. So this is +1, that's -2. I have to have 2 of those. So the chemical formula is NH4-2Cr2O7. The reason that you have to have 2 is because you want the positive and the negative charges to equal each other. So that was +1, that was -2, so I needed 2 of the +1s. The reason I put the parentheses in is that anytime you have more than one of the things down here, you have to use parentheses to show that this little 2 applies to everything that's in the formula. I did not put parentheses around this one because we only had one of the Cr2O7 groups. So that was -2, that was +1. I needed 2 1s to match 1, 2. All right. Now, the unit that's here goes on the bottom. And that's the unit means everything except the 16. So moles, NH4-2Cr2O7. On the top you put what you're looking for, which is grams of NH4-2Cr2O7. A minute ago I mentioned that we needed to find the formula mass. So we wrote the formula, so now let's find the formula mass so I can put it in up here. We know 1 always goes in moles. The number of grams in a mole would be 14 plus 1 times 4. And that's in parentheses. Then that's times 2. Plus 2 chromiums. Chromium is up here, its mass is 52. So it's going to be 52 times 2. And 16 times 7. 16 is the mass of oxygen. So again, I'm going to draw the lines to show you where the numbers came from. All right, so now we've got to add up all that stuff. So step aside to grab a calculator. So 14 plus 1 times 4 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. So all of this turns into 36. Once again, 14 plus 1 times 4, you do the multiplication before you do the division, PEMDAS. So 1 times 4 is 4, plus 8 plus 14 makes 18. 18 times 2 is 36. Over here you've got 15 times 2, which is 104. And 16 times 7, 16 times 8 would be 128. So 16 times 7 would be 112. Now, just to verify, I'm just going to double check my head math on the calculator. So 16 times 7, 112. So my total number here is 36 plus 104 plus 112 equals 252. So that's what goes there. All right. So now we do the math. This is an invisible 1 there, so 1 times 1 is 1. 16 times 152 on the top, or 252 on the top. So 16 times 252. Final answer, 4,032 grams. All right, so that's how you do that particular problem. Now let's take a look at the next one. We've got 320 grams of pentane. So remember, you write down the number, the units, that's grams of C5H12. All right. Now we're going to multiply by a ratio. Whatever is here goes on the bottom except the number. The number does not go down there. So it's grams of C5H12. On the top, we'd put what we're looking for. So in this problem, we're starting with grams, which means we're over here, and we're trying to get to molecules, which is over here. So we're going to have a step 1, step 2 approach. So step 1 is to go to moles. And 1 goes to moles, and we have to find out how many grams are in C5H12. All right, I'm going to write these arrows down here again. So carbon has a mass of 12, hydrogen has a mass of 1. The 12 will get multiplied by 5. The 1 will get multiplied by 12. 12 times 5 is 60, plus 1 times 12 makes 72. That's our first step. Second step is to change to molecules. So whatever's here, except for the number, goes down here. And on the top is the molecules. Molecules. 1 is moles, and that's 6 times 10 to the 23rd. You can use that if you want to, or you can go 6.02 equals. All right, so now to do the math. See if I can get this so you can kind of see it. So it would be 320 times 6 times 10 to the 23rd. And that's what I wanted you to see. So 320 multiplied by 6, then use the EXP key right there, EE on your iPhone, 23. And that's across the top. Then on the bottom, we're going to put 72, because that's the only number we have on the bottom. So we're going to divide that by 72. And that equals 2.67 times 10 to the 24th. Or we can just, if you want to, just call it 2.7 times 10 to the 24th. So 2.7 times 10 to the 24th molecules. And notice that that 10 to the 24th is over here on this, that little guy right there. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3. Again, you write down what you're given, 936 grams. You write down what you're talking about, aluminum phthalate. So I used this one because it was a weird one. I thought it might be something you don't have on any of the quizzes. So phthalate's right here, C8H4O4. C8H4O4. All right, we're just trying to change from grams to moles. So we're going from here to here. Oh, excuse me, here to here. Right there, one step. Okay, this was a -2 charge. This is a +3 charge. This formula is going to be kind of weird. So that's a 3 and 2, common multiple is 6. So how many 3's do I need to make 6? How many 2's do I need to make 6? But that's a polyatomic ion, so it has to be in parentheses. All right, so now we're going to have 27. I'm going to find the formula mass, because we know we're going to need that. I'll show you the why first. So whatever units are here, all that goes down here. So that's grams of aluminum phthalate. Like that. And then you have moles on top. That's an Al2, 3. All right, 1 goes in moles. Now we got to find out how many grams to put down there. So I'm going to have 27 times 2 plus, now parentheses, I'm going to have 12 times 8, because carbon has a mass of 12 and there's 8 of them, plus 1 times 4, because that's 1, but there's 4 of them, plus 16, because oxygen is 16, times 4. And all of that will be multiplied by 3. Okay, so again, the lines. That 2's there, the aluminum's that. The carbon is that, the 8 is that, the hydrogen is 1, the 4 is this 4 right here, the oxygen is 16, these 4 is right here, and then this 3 is a 3 outside. All right, so let's do that. So 12 times 8 plus 1 times 4 is just 4. 16 times 4 is 64. And then you multiply that by 3 because there's a 3 outside. So times 3 equals, and then we're going to have 27 times 2 on top of that. Did I already do that? And I don't remember. So that'll be 54. Plus 54. If I get 546, I'm going to try that one more time because I'm not sure I did that right. I forgot if I added this on or not. So I'm going to do everything in the parentheses first. 12 times 8 plus 4 plus 64 equals. Then I'll multiply that answer by 3 equals. And then I'm going to add 54.
Mr. Howe,
That's my guest here in my video. Yes, Mika?
who are you talking to?
People that are watching this video that I'm making right now. So that's 546. So now to do the math, you're going to have 936 times 1 and divide by 546.
Someone left this.
Oh, thanks.
You're so welcome.
All right, so 934 divided by 546 is 1.7. So my final answer here is 1.7 moles. All right, so that was number 3. All right, the bell's going to ring for my next class, so I'm going to put this in 2 videos. So this was the first 3. I'll come back if I have time this afternoon right after school and do number 4 and 5.
You don't say that.